Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So as you can already see from the title, today is a what I eat in a day video. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, so here we go. I'm also going to do intermittent fasting again starting today. So I figured it was a perfect time to talk a little bit about intermittent fasting. I'm not like an expert or anything, but I figured it'd be perfect for the what I eat in a day, because when I did intermittent fasting a couple of months ago, I played around a lot with like my meals, especially breakfast, and I found that having a protein packed breakfast, even if it was higher in calories, actually helped me out to be feeling full throughout the day, so I wasn't snacking as much and all that stuff or whatever. But whatever, let's just get right into the video. I'm breaking my fast a little later than I'm supposed to. It's almost noon, it's 11:45, so let's get started with the first meal of the day. Alright, so first I'm going to spray this little pan here. So I sprayed the pan with this avocado oil spray that I get from, I think I got this from Trader Joe's. No, actually I'm lying. I got this from the local supermarket. So spray that. Alright, so I just like to use these liquid egg whites. They're so much better than just like trying to separate the egg white from the yolk in a regular egg. And so what I'm going to do is just measure out half a cup of the egg whites in here and just pour that right in. So I like to add this little seasoning from Trader Joe's, the bagel sesame seasoning. Oh my god, it's so amazing. I just like to sprinkle a little bit of that onto my egg, which is getting nice and crispy. It's actually just how I like it, so I'm going to flip it over. It's almost done. There we go. Use 1 packet of this instant oatmeal. My favorite flavor is the maple and brown sugar. I know that these things are not the healthiest. Do not come for me. I usually have steel cut oats, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to use a packet of this. Just put that right in there. And then I don't like it too watery, so I only use 4 ounces of water. And then I just let that sit so it can like thicken up the way that I like it to. In my oatmeal, I like to add 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. They're a really good source of fiber, protein, and omega-3. So just 1 tablespoon of that. I just take a couple of frozen blueberries here. Get these from Trader Joe's. And as always, I like to sprinkle a little bit of ground cinnamon on top. This is what it's looking like, and then I just mix this all together. I love this. This is such a good source of carbs, complex carbs. So when I'm craving carbs and I know I'm trying to just like watch my carb intake and not have too much bread, I'll have this in the morning instead. Alright, so to go along with my first meal, I'm not going to have coffee, which I typically would, but I already had black coffee this morning. Black coffee, by the way, is okay when you're intermittent fasting. It doesn't break it or anything like that, as long as you don't add creamer or anything. So black coffee this morning, so I'm not going to do that. And I also had a shot of apple cider vinegar. I used the Bragg's with the mother, which is really, really important. So I had this with a little bit of cayenne pepper, chased that down with some water, and then I had my black coffee. So since I'm not doing coffee, and again, I said a protein-packed breakfast, I am instead going to make myself a protein shake. So what I have in here is 1 scoop of the pea protein. This is the vanilla flavor. This is the one that I ended up, I have the chocolate one, but I like this one as well, which I'm really surprised by because I typically don't like vanilla flavored things, but this also has less calories. And then I have the PB&Me. This is powdered peanut butter. I always use the serving, so this is 2 tablespoons I put in here. So this gives you the flavor of peanut butter without all the calories. And so I'm just gonna add some water to this and blend it all together. When the rest of me is down. Alright, so this is basically breakfast. This is my egg whites. I added just a little bit of salsa on top. I don't know, sometimes I just like that. A handful of fresh raspberries. I always like to have some type of fresh fruit, even though I have blueberries in the oatmeal, but this is how it thickened up. Oh my god. I love it. I love, love, love my oatmeal like this. It tastes so good. And then my protein shake. that's breakfast. So as I eat this, I'll make sure to enter this into my fitness pal so I can kind of like track my calories. I'm not the greatest with tracking my calories in my fitness pal, to be honest with you. I have my moments where I'm like really good and I'm on it and I'm tracking everything for like, I'm like on a good streak, right? For like 3-4 months straight, I'm tracking my meals. But after a while, I don't know, I just get kind of like, I get tired of like looking at the numbers and over analyzing and all of that jazz or whatever. So sometimes I set up alerts, like notifications within my fitness pal to remind me to input my, you know, my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, or what have you, whatever. When I'm doing intermittent fasting, I do pay attention a lot more to what I'm eating because I feel like that helps me out more since I'm not eating as much throughout the day. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I have the free version of my fitness pal. If you have the paid version, then you can track your macros. So I think that's another reason why I got kind of like not discouraged, but because I couldn't easily track my macros within my fitness pal, like I kind of had to do the math all the time. I just felt really overwhelmed with the numbers and I just want things to be really freaking easy. And then once it gets too complicated, I'm like, whatever. I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, I'm not perfect at tracking my calories or tracking my macros. I do try to just hit my protein at the very least and be mindful of how much carbs I'm eating. My fitness pal does help with that, but I admit I'm not the greatest at it. So anyway, I'm gonna have my first meal of the day and put everything into my fitness pal and then catch you guys later for lunch. For lunch, I'm going to have this ricotta and spinach filled ravioli. I admit this is probably not the best choice right now, but I did not meal prep and I'm lazy and this is really fast, so this is what it's going to be. Oops, a little bit more than what I wanted, but so yeah, I'm just gonna let that cook down for a couple of minutes and that will be lunch. Even when you're not around, if there are boundaries, I will try to. Okay, so here are the raviolis. These are so good. I really love them. If I'm being completely honest, I admit that I was munching on a couple of these corn chip dippers from Trader Joe's. I love them. I'm totally obsessed. I'm also going to have this with a little bag of baby carrots. I know this doesn't look like a lot. It really isn't. I will probably be hungry. I'm, you know, keeping it real. But I am going to drink my water because I have not been drinking enough water for today. And yeah, that plays a huge role in like hunger, cravings, you know? So anyway, yeah, this is lunch and I'll catch you guys for dinner, possibly a snack. Alright, can you guys tell what dinner's going to be? I am making a turkey chili. These are the ingredients. So I have the ground turkey that I picked up from Trader Joe's the other day, and I have some Goya black beans and the organic kidney beans from Trader Joe's, half of a roughly chopped red onion. Red onion is my favorite. Goya tomato paste. I have some celery because I love celery, and why not add that to the chili. And these are just some of the seasonings that I plan on using, give or take. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is what we're gonna do. It's gonna be super fast, super easy. I figured if I start making dinner early, let it simmer for a while, it will be ready by the time I'm actually hungry. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by adding some olive oil to the pot here and turning on my stove. Get that going. There we go. Let that warm up. This is what the turkey is looking like. It's already done. So now I'm going to add my red onions. So I'm also going to add some tomato paste. I have a nice big spoonful in there. I may add more. I don't know why I put it in this order, but I just do. And that's just how I like it. So I'm going to do this around. I'm letting that simmer. Mix it really well. Hard to do with one hand because you're holding the camera, but you know, we're making it work here. So normally I would add vegetable stock, but I ran out, so I just put in 2.5 cups of water in here. Just gonna stir this around, and then at this point I'm just gonna add all of the other ingredients, the red beans, the black beans, and the celery. So good, you guys. I promise you this is delicious. So I'm gonna add about 2 more cups of water, and then I'll just season it like as I go along, and then let it simmer for about an hour and a half on low heat. So we'll check back in once all of that is done. I can't wait to eat this. I'm already getting like so excited. Okay, so while my chili is simmering, I figured I can start talking to you guys about why I started eating meat again. So for those of you that don't know, I did go plant-based a little over a year ago, like sometime end of June, July of like last year, and I started eating meat again this past spring. Yeah, this past spring. So I mean, I think I did pretty good. I did longer than the first time when I attempted to not eat meat. I only lasted like a month, so it did last a lot longer. But the reason why I started eating meat again is because after being plant-based for a couple of months, I just realized that I always felt like I was starving, and that is just like the worst feeling. And so then I was overeating with carbs because I just never felt satiated. So when I started to track my meals and be very good with it and like super strict, my protein intake was really low. So as I said earlier, when I was playing around with my meals and playing around with like, you know, my macros for breakfast and lunch and dinner, I realized that if I start my day with a protein-packed breakfast, it was just better for me throughout the day. And I also stopped eating eggs, and I know a lot of people, there's like a whole debate. Some people don't consider eggs to be dairy, but that was like the last thing that I cut out, and that was another source of my protein. So I was like really struggling. So here I am like trying to figure all these things out, and you know, when you cut out meat, then the next natural thing, at least for me in this journey, was a meat substitute. And a lot of vegan meats, like the fake meats, are made with soy and gluten. There's like, it was so hard to find something that was plant-based. And the things that I did find, I just honestly, I didn't like it. And I'm not gonna force myself to eat something if I don't like it just because it's quote-unquote healthy. You know what I mean? I feel like if you eat the foods that you really like and enjoy that are good for you, you'll do better on this journey. I try to avoid soy because it doesn't agree with my body, and it doesn't agree with my skin, and it was a struggle, like internally and out here. So I was like, you know what, I'm doing too much at one time, like this is a lot. So I decided, why am I stressing myself out? I started eating meat again because honestly I was tired of feeling like I was starving. I was tired of like not knowing what to eat. It was just really, it just became too complicated, and I don't like anything to be complicated. I still have a semi-plant-based diet. I only have meat once or twice a week. And when I say meat, I mean turkey, because I haven't even had chicken in a really long time. And I've never been a red meat eater. Like, I'm not the person that craves a steak and potatoes. Like, that is just not me. And the rare times that I do crave it, like I said, it's rare. But most of the time, it's just like turkey. Like, you see me making my turkey chili. I'll make like ground turkey tacos or turkey meatballs or something like that. But yeah, that's why I just started to have meat again. I figured, why make this even harder for myself? As I'm on this journey of like trying to be healthier, for me, it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing, and just like health. Like, my digestive system needs to be healthy. So with that is figuring out food sensitivities. Like I've said before, I've gone to the doctor and I've gotten tested, but as it was explained to me, the tests that my doctor does, which is like most general practitioners for food sensitivities, are checking for like physical reactions, like, are you swelling up, do you break out in hives, you know, things like that. And she said, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that your body isn't reacting internally to something. Also, food combining is another major thing that people don't consider. So you may not have a food sensitivity, but maybe the combination of certain foods. And I remember I had a consultation with a nutritionist a while ago, and I talked to her about this, and she said to me, if you don't know what is affecting you, don't have two things together. So if I didn't know if it was gluten or dairy, don't have them together in a single meal and see how I feel. And so I did that for a while, and there were times where I was okay, and then there were times that I really wasn't okay. So along with having meat again, I've started to include eggs, as you saw in my breakfast. But I try not to have it too many days in a row because it really does like bloat me like no other. It's insane. So being plant-based for like, I don't know, 10, 11 months or something like that, I did physically feel better. I was less bloated. but I still felt very hungry and therefore eating more carbs than I wanted to on occasion. Like, I'm just trying to be completely transparent here. And also, it just like, it wreaked havoc on my skin. Now, when it comes to skin, I mean, this is totally separate video, right? But if you have acne prone skin like I do, then you know that like literally it could be anything that is breaking you out. But I do feel like such a drastic lifestyle change that I didn't do little by little affected me, because like I said, I realized I was having more soy than I wanted to. On occasion I was having gluten, and I just think like, again, the combination of everything at one time, lifestyle change, daily stresses of life, stresses of relationships and friendships, and just being an actor, and like, you know, I decided to try all these damn foundations. What the hell is that for? But, you know, I'm slowly getting there, but that's the primary reason why I started to eat meat again. And also, not that this was a reason for me to start eating meat again, but it was just really hard, like going out or visiting people, going to Long Island. So few people just don't understand this lifestyle decision, and quite honestly, you know, don't respect it. So it was just hard sometimes to be in certain social situations and like not wanting to eat something because I just didn't know how it was going to affect me. Like, was I gonna get nauseous and dizzy? Was I gonna start vomiting? You know, how extreme was the bloating gonna be, you know? So that was kind of like just an annoying part of the process to deal with. But again, like, it comes with the territory. Like, anytime you decide to live a certain way that is completely different from somebody else, people just have an opinion, and you know, they just don't know how to respect it. But yeah, that's my whole spiel. So I do the 16-18, which is fasting for 16 and eating for 8. I'm not an expert, so I'll leave some links in the description box to some videos that I absolutely love and that really helped me. But if you want to do intermittent fasting, I say just start off slow, like slowly work yourself up to it. I didn't just start off with 16-8. I just kept adjusting it until I felt really, really comfortable. And you know, I'm not super strict with it because my schedule varies and it does affect the eating schedule. So I do make slight adjustments here and there, just depending on what's going on for the day. When I started doing it again a couple of months ago, I started to notice changes around a little bit after like the 3rd week. So in complete honesty, I know a lot of people do IF. Let's just call it IF, because saying intermittent fasting is just like a little bit much. A lot of people do IF to lose weight, and I did not weigh myself because I have a bad history with the scale, and I know that I can get very obsessed with it, and I don't want to. So I just went by how I felt and how my clothes felt and how my body looked or whatever. So around the 3rd week was when I really started to notice the change. The first couple of days was hard, just like today was a little bit hard too. I did find myself wanting to snack more, and other than the corn chips that I showed you, I didn't have anything else. But that's to be expected. By the 3rd week, it was like, forget about it. I mean, I had my meals, I wasn't craving sugar, I wasn't snacking, I felt really full for longer. I stopped eating around 7 or even 6 sometimes, or sometimes even 5, and I felt completely fine. I wasn't bloated. I saw my little itty bitty baby abs coming through, because they're there. You don't see them, but they're there. I just wasn't bloated, and I just looked like, I looked slimmer, and I just felt really good. I had a lot of energy. So, you know, I decided I'm gonna do it again because I did find that it helped with the snacking. I don't know where my sweet tooth came from, but suddenly I have a sweet tooth and I need to get it in check because too much sugar is not good for your skin either. So that's basically IF. So again, I'll link some videos that I think are super, super helpful. So if you're interested in it, you can go check those out, because I'm not an expert. I'm just doing what I know and what feels good for me and what my experience level is with it. But either way, I hope that this information was helpful for you. Alright people, so here you have it. This is what the turkey chili looks like. Look at that. Doesn't that just look so freaking good? Can't wait to dig in. It looks good, it smells good, and it tastes good. If you want, you can sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top of this, serve it with some tortilla chips on the side. Really, really delicious. So this is going to be dinner and my final meal of the day. So I figured I'd show you guys really quickly some of my favorite teas, because if I get a little hungry later and I'm like tempted to snack, I'll just have to drink tea and continue to drink some water. So these are some of my favorites that I have been sipping on lately. So this is green tea, which is really, really good for you, also good for skin. This is chai. This is a green tea, blueberry slim detox type of thing. This one has caffeine, so I probably won't have this at night. But I'll be honest with you, I had this at night before and I felt totally fine. Like I didn't have jitters or anything. It didn't keep me up. And then this cinnamon vanilla healthy skin tea, I really, really like. I love anything cinnamon. I'm not a fan of this vanilla combo, so I mean, I'm not in love with it, but you know, I'm going through this journey of trying to fix my skin after the disaster of the past year. So anything that will help. So yeah, so if I get hungry, it'll be water and one of these teas. Alright you guys, so that is it for my what I eat in a day video. I really hope that you guys liked it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.